He bullied the wrong kid. This bully started messing with one of the smaller kids by the lockers one day, talking trash and getting into his face. Nice hair, ginger boy. Trying to get a reaction, but the smaller kid ignored him. What, you got nothing to say? Then, out of nowhere, the smaller kid grabs the combination lock that's hanging off his locker, and he swings it across the bully's face. This kid's kind of bleeding a bit, he's crying, teacher comes running, but the smaller kid skipped off the class, and for some reason he did not get in trouble for this. Well, his next class was woodshop. After the bully got himself all cleaned up, he started to get mad again. Yeah, he got a cheap shot on me. I'm gonna find him. Oh, I'm gonna get him back. The bully then goes to this kid's woodshop class, and he walks in. He sees the small kid in the back corner working. Now, the small kid is working with 2x4s. Planks of wood. Why the bully thought it would be a good idea to mess with him again, I don't know, but he does. Hey, you're freaking dead! Without reacting much, you guessed it, smacks him right across the face with a plank of wood. The kid freaks out again, starts crying, he's bleeding again. This time, they both get sent to the office, but the woodshop class had a ton of people say that this bully went to attack the small kid first. And if the small kid didn't defend himself, well, it would have been bad for him. The bully got expelled. Careful who you mess with. Bada bing, bada boom. This kid's taking a math test one day when something falls out of her pencil case. The teacher sees the piece of paper on the ground. Oh, Stacy, I saw that. Pick up that paper and go to the office. No cheating in my class. No, I wasn't cheating. No, go to the office. No, seriously, I wasn't cheating. Just read it. Take the note and go to the office now. Jeez, lady's going a little crazy, huh? But this girl then goes to the office. So now she's walking through the hallways, carrying her backpack while the teacher follows behind her. She grabbed a different faculty member to watch the class while she left. They get to the principal's office. Stacy, sit down. What's going on here? I caught her with a cheat sheet, cheating during our test. Go ahead. Hand him the piece of paper. The teacher looks at Stacy. Stacy looks at the principal looks at Stacy. Here, go ahead. Read the note. The principal takes the paper and reads it out loud. Eggs, bacon, window cleaner, popcorn, Cheez-Its. This is a dang grocery list. Yeah, I know. I'm going to the store after school for my mom. I wasn't cheating. You crazy teacher. Mrs. Johnson, are you serious right now? Oh, I could have. Is there somebody watching your class right now? Yes, Mrs. Carroll is. Good. Stacy, go back to class. We're having a chat. That's karma. He slept through every single math class. The teacher talking, he was asleep. Putting notes up on the board, dude was knocked out. Everybody got used to seeing him face down on his desk. Well, one day the teacher was absolutely sick of this. I'm absolutely sick of this. One morning, the teacher stopped in the middle of the class and he wrote a complicated problem on the board. He then told the person sitting next to this kid, "Hey, Billiards, wake him up." Hey, wake up, man. The teacher then says this: "Since you've been paying attention so closely all class, solve this problem for me. You have 4 minutes." The whole class is waiting for this kid to get embarrassed. He immediately walks up to the board. He's still exhausted. He takes the marker, he begins writing. 3 seconds later, he says, "Done." The teacher's like, "Yeah, no way. Let's see." It was perfect. The kid sits back down and puts his head right back on the desk. A few days later, the teacher tries again. "Wake him up, I got a really hard one this time." Bro, 273.67. That's correct. It becomes a thing. He tried a few more times before he just stopped bothering him. Just let him sleep throughout every single class because he always got A's on the test and he always did his homework. So why can't the kid sleep? Yeah. This kid went to a Catholic school in Florida. Florida. And if you've ever been to Florida, you know that there are lizards everywhere. On walls, sidewalks, just chilling by the pool. It's a lovely day. So one day, this little lizard gets inside the school building. It's in a classroom. And everyone's freaking out for some reason. The teacher is consistently saying, "Nobody touch it! Nobody touch it!" And this one kid thought she was scared. That's why she was saying it. So he chased the lizard around. He picked it up. He caught it. "Don't worry, miss. I got it. I'll go put him outside." The teacher then gets really weird. "Oh, you shouldn't have touched the lizard. Why? You just invited the devil into your soul." That's funny. "No, I'm serious. Get in the hall." She then sends this kid out into the hallway and calls this nun to come up. The nun then takes him to the chapel part of school where she prayed over him for the rest of the day. And this kid is sitting there. The nun also made the kid watch her kill the lizard with a cross. I'm not sure what kind of Florida Catholic school this is, but that's crazy. This girl goes to a sleepover at her friend's house. She's about 10 years old, and everything is normal. It's a nice house, it's a nice family. Nothing weird, but then bedtime rolls around, and that's when she notices something. You see, her friend has 5 brothers, and all 5 of them share one giant room. She walks past, it's filled with bunk beds. No decorations at all, no posters, nothing like that. It looks like a frickin' barracks. Then the mom starts getting everybody ready for bed, and apparently the boys had a nightly routine. All right, boys, line up. All 5 brothers line up, and she starts inspecting them one by one. Shirts tucked in? Good. Jeans on? Good. Belt fastened? Good. You all look very dapper. Now go to bed. And sends them off to bed. She asks her friend, do they do this every night? Her friend's like, yeah, every night. And just think about how weird that is. No pajamas. In fact, the mom is making them wear a t-shirt, jeans, and a belt to sleep. And then she notices something in there. Each of those bunk beds doesn't have a blanket on it. And the brothers acted like it was completely normal. Now you see, alarm bells are going off in my brain. Someone should probably call DCFS, because that sounds sus. This teacher and this one kid argued every single day, constantly butting heads. Johnson, look at me. No, you look at me. It's one of those things where every single class, kids are just waiting for some crazy stuff to go down between these two. Well, one afternoon, this teacher is fed up with this kid and says, Johnson, if you keep talking, we're gonna have a problem. No, we're not. Yeah, we are. If you keep talking, I'm gonna call your mother. The kid just goes, do it. The teacher goes, oh, I will. My mom's gonna agree with me anyway. The teacher didn't like him talking back. You know what? Just go to the office right now. Go right now. Leave my classroom. Okay. He walks out of the classroom for 1 second, and then he comes back in. You know what? I'm gonna call my mom for you. He dials. It's on speakerphone. It's ringing, and his mom picks up. Hey, Mom. My teacher wants to talk to you. Teacher was panicked. Didn't know what to do. The entire class is laughing. Here, I'm gonna hand you over to her. She takes the phone, and she hangs up. He was still sent to the office, but she kinda looked like a joke after that. I'm addicted to making money at school, and one morning, I had an idea. On my bike ride to school, I stopped into the local Target, and I bought a bunch of packs of socks. Then at school that day, I waited until it was gym class. I didn't go to class. Instead, when gym class was over, I waited outside the doors of the locker room as the students came in to change into their normal clothes. Well, I cracked open the door a little bit and I peeked. Once all of their shoes were off and they were only in their socks, I poured a bucket of water on the floor, getting everybody's socks soaking wet. I got my brand new packet of socks, then I went in. What's wrong, guys? I don't know, man. A bunch of water came in here. All of our socks are soaking wet. This sucks. Oh, man, that's really unfortunate. I don't even know what I'm going to do now. This is going to suck for the rest of the day. I actually have brand new socks right here in this duffel bag. Thanks, dude. Yeah, I'll take some socks. Yeah, me too. And want some socks, too. Oh, not so fast, men. It's $2 per sock. $2 for a pair of socks? Oh, no. I think you heard me wrong. $2 per sock. $4 per pair. Yeah, no, I'm not paying that. Enjoy the rest of the day with your squishy sock feet. Wait. Here's 4. That's what I thought. Today's gonna be a good day. Black markets kids ran in their schools, a subscriber submission. At this person's middle school, the lunchroom never served any sides with any of their meals. So if they were serving hot dogs, it was just a hot dog. Burgers, it was just the burgers. Pizza, just the pizza. Well, the kids at the school thought this was bogus. Every good lunch needs a side. So this guy had a brilliant idea. Every morning before school, he would heat up a bunch of French fries in his air fryer. And I'm talking a lot of French fries. He would then put them in an insulated pack so they stayed warm. And at lunch, he would sell them to other students. It was an immediate hit. Business was, you know what I'm gonna say, booming. On average, he was making $100 a day. This went on for weeks. You can imagine how much money he was making. One day, the school found out what he was doing, but they didn't shut it down. They were impressed. So they gave him his own stand to run during lunch, where he would sell the fries that he made. All in all, he had made over $10,000. This is awesome. This person said that when he was in high school, he was applying to colleges, and there was one college that he really wanted to go to. So he was at his counselor's office, and they were talking about this. Yeah, so I really want to go to that school, Steven, and I think I can do it. Steven, you're not getting into the school, man. Steven was pissed. He went to the principal's office and told the principal the situation. Yeah, so Mr. Johnson just completely, disregarded me and shut me down so that there's no way I'm getting into that school. Well, Steven, he has a point. I mean, look at the school and look at you. Apply to a state school, you know? Come, just Go. This made Steven even more mad. So what did he do? He went home. He sat down at his computer and he began writing his college essay. He went to town. He was writing. He was thinking. His brainstorming. Thoughts were just spurting out of everywhere. He was done. He sent it off to that school that he really wanted to go to, and he waited. Well, time passed, and suddenly there was a big packet in his mailbox. Oh my God. He goes inside and he opens it. Accepted. I got in. I got in. He got into the school. Oh my God, he was so freaking excited. Well, it turns out this school was way too much money and he could not afford it, so he ended up not going to school, but he made copies of the acceptance letter and he taped it to the door of his counselor and the principal. One for you, and one for you. When this kid was in 6th grade, he asked his teachers if he could get paid to clean up gum from under desks and chairs. They said sure. So he was getting paid $5 every time he cleaned up gum. Well, the principal found out about this and asked him if he could clean up the gum from under the tables in the lunchroom. He said sure. It was a nice little side hustle, but then he had a brilliant idea. He was gonna start selling gum. So he started buying these packs. This one's only $5 from Target. It's 8 packs with 15 pieces of gum in each pack. That's 120 pieces of gum, and he sold each piece of gum for 50 cents. He was making $60 after selling one whole thing of gum. But here's the kicker. Every time he sold somebody a piece of gum, he asked them when they were done with the gum if they could put it underneath desks or the lunchroom tables. So he would have to clean up the gum more often and make even more money. No one's buying my bags of chips. I bought so much to sell at school today, but I haven't sold one. Bro, it's because everyone goes to the vending machine. Are your chips cheaper than the vending machine? No, man, they're more expensive. I'm trying to make bank. No, I don't know what to tell you, bro. Fine, man. Hold on. I have an idea. Hello, vending machine, my enemy. Shut your mouth. I'm gonna unplug you. Oh, I'm gonna unplug you. And now I wait.
Excuse me, I just want to get to the vending machine.
Unfortunately, it's out of order. It's not working.
Oh, really? I wanted some barbecue chips so bad.
You're in luck today. I actually have a bag full of chips for sale. $4.
$4? The vending machine's only $2.
Well, the vending machine isn't working, is it?
Fine, I'll take them. Here.
And here you go. Tell your friends. Today's gonna be a good day. Black markets kids ran in their schools. This one is absolutely insane. So this kid in middle school ran a revenge business. He wouldn't hurt anybody at all. That wasn't part of his business. But anything aside from that had a price. He carried a notebook around with suggestions of things he could do for revenge. If somebody wanted to get revenge on a classmate or something, they would come look at his notebook, see what they can afford, and then hire him to perform that revenge plot. If somebody wanted to get the ultimate revenge, they would pay him for the ultimate package. And this is what it is. This kid would get a garbage can, fill it with milk, eggs, meat, and roadkill that he would find on the side of the road. He would then put the lid on it and keep it out in his backyard in the heat until it started to rot. Then he would bring this garbage can to the person that he was hired to get revenge on. He would take the lid off, lean the garbage can against the door, knock on the door, and run away. Now, when someone in the house opened the door to answer it, that garbage can would fall in and spill everything everywhere, causing a rotten, disgusting, smelly mess. He told me he was never caught, he never got in trouble, and he made over $700. Did this mom go too far? This woman shared that she has a 14-year-old son named Jack, and Jack is an incredibly picky eater, like very picky. This mom, her 14-year-old son Jack, and 2 of her other children were taken out of school on this particular day. They were driving 3 hours to visit a relative in the hospital. Well, about halfway through this 3-hour drive, the kids began to get hungry, so they pulled over and stopped at a Chick-fil-A. Now, at this time, there was a trend where people were putting mac and cheese onto the Chick-fil-A sandwich. Well, Jack said that that's what he wanted.
Are you sure that's what you want?
Yes.
Okay, because if you don't like it, I am not stopping again to get you more food.
Yes. And just like his mom expected, oh, I hate that, it's disgusting. Mom, we have to go back, I did not like that.
I don't care, Jack, I warned you. We're gonna keep driving.
And no matter how hungry Jack got, the mom wouldn't stop. When they finally got back home that night, Jack ran inside crying to his dad. His dad was then mad at the mom, and it started a whole fight. I think that kid needs to grow up a little bit. He's 14, for Christ's sake. What do you think? This first date ended so fast. This guy said that he was on Tinder, and he met this girl that he thought was pretty cute. They talked for a while, and they made plans to go out to dinner for their first date. Hey, Kayla. Hi. So nice to meet you in person. Hi, your table's ready. This way. They sat down, they got to talking. Somehow the conversation led to talking about their pets. And this guy said, I have 2 cats, Felipe and Carol. They're adorable. That's so cute. I have a dog named Papa. Oh, I bet he's really cute. One thing though, I am incredibly allergic to cats. Oh no. And if things become serious between us, I'll just make you get rid of your cats. You'll make me get rid of my cats? Yeah. Pretty bold of you to say that to me on a first date. No, I bet your dog's ugly as hell too. And what kind of name is that, huh? Papa. Papa. This date is over. ChatGPT was supposed to destroy his business. However, business is still booming. An article was just released. It's about this service called Killer Papers. It's a tutoring and essay writing service. KP, the man behind this business, started it way back in high school, where he would write essays for his classmates. For $20 to $30 a piece, athletes and rich kids were having him write their papers. Everyone was happy and everyone stayed in good academic standing. However, he found himself in the principal's office a lot. So, to avoid any further trouble, he shut the business down. Fast forward 6 years, he graduates college and he couldn't stand the job he was in. So, he started this business. Fast forward another 6 years, and at the end of November 2022, he was doing 7 figures in annual revenue. Well, now with the rise of artificial intelligence and services like ChatGPT, people are wondering, how is this going to affect your business? There's no way you can stay in business. This is the end for you, buddy. And he was definitely worried. It was panic time. He had no idea what he was going to do, but he didn't back down. People on his Instagram were sending him DMs, mocking him, leaving comments. It was brutal, but he adapted. Instead of getting defensive, he made fun of himself on his own social media. People loved the honesty, and they began defending him. He then adjusted spending around his company. He was trying to save money everywhere. He then used AI himself. He used AI to assist with payroll and accounting, and it helped save time and money. All of this topped by the fact that universities and teachers were cracking down on AI-written essays. And just like that, for now, him and his business are back on track. There's so much more in the article. You can read it right here. Gotta respect the hustle. The craziest things kids did in school. One day at one elementary school, a couple classes of students were outside. The fire department drove one of their fire trucks to the school and was letting the kids look around and ask them questions. Well, this one kid was getting a little bit too curious. The firefighters were earlier demonstrating the fire hose, but they had set it down for a second. This kid went up to the fire hose, picked it up, and started blasting people with it.
I think you broke my leg. Good heavens.
He was holding on for dear life, spraying students and teachers, knocking teachers down and causing students to fly halfway across the yard. He was eventually stopped, but this kid definitely went for it. This kid had a rough day. He was in class one day and the teacher was teaching a lesson. He was in a pretty good mood this day, so he was talking to his friend about what they were gonna do during the weekend. So you're gonna come to my house at 5 p.m. on Friday. I have a bunch of cheese in my fridge and we can build that sculpture you were saying. Billy! Quiet down. I just can't wait for the cheese. Billy, I just asked you to quiet down. Go out in the hallway right now. No, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Go out in the hallway right now. Keep in mind that the door of the classroom has a window on it. Well, a couple minutes later, the students in this classroom noticed this kid peeking into the window. He was standing there for a good while before the teacher noticed this. When she saw him, she went over to the door and closed the curtain so he couldn't look in anymore. You could hear this kid crying out in the hallway. Believe it or not, this kid went to school administration and explained what happened. 3 days later, that teacher was fired. That seems a little harsh. During recess in 5th grade, this girl was on the playground when a boy who had a crush on her came up to her. Hey, Stacy. Hi, Kyle. I just want to tell you that I really like you and I want to know if you want to be my girlfriend. At that moment, she wasn't sure what to say. She thought this kid was nice, but she didn't like him like that, so she had to think of an excuse. There was a tree right next to them. This is what she said. No. This tree is my boyfriend. She then hugged and kissed the tree and walked away. She felt pretty bad. And later during recess, she saw that kid crying and kicking the tree that she told him was her boyfriend. Stupid tree. I hate you, tree. He thought this is how babies were made. This guy shared a story of how in junior year of high school, his friend had no idea how babies were made. This is what he thought would happen. He actually believed that when you got married and you and your wife were ready to have a baby, you would take your wife to a hospital, they would put you in a room, and you would pee on your wife. And then bingo, your wife was pregnant. His friend was like, no dude, that's actually super messed up. He then educated his friend on how exactly babies are conceived. Needless to say, his friend was incredibly embarrassed. In one middle school, this kid asked his teacher if he can go to the bathroom. Can I go to the bathroom, miss? She said, no, you just went 10 minutes ago. Well, this made him very angry. And right after she said no, he grabbed his sharpened pencil and stabbed it right into his hand. How about now? Can I go to the bathroom now? Yeah. Yeah, you can. And go to the nurse too, and then to the principal's office. His parents were called, and he most likely had to go talk to a therapist. When this guy was in high school, the mascot was a bulldog. Well, one day, this kid was driving around doing donuts in the high school parking lot when he accidentally ran into the statue of the bulldog. The crash knocked the bulldog off its platform, and this kid freaked out. Oh my god. Oh my god, oh my god. He looked around and nobody saw what happened, so he got out of his car, picked up the bulldog, and shoved it into his trunk. Get in there, get in there, get in there. He then drove to a bridge and tossed the bulldog into the water, disposing of the evidence. I'm so sorry. He never told anybody about this. It was a huge deal at the school with an entire investigation. It wasn't until 15 years later when he was having beers with his brother that he confessed. His brother was amazed that he was able to keep this secret for this long. This girl's dad had recently passed away and she was sitting in class when one of her classmates started to make fun of her. What's it like having a dead dad? Shut up. And the way he died too is just super embarrassing. I said shut up. Jeez, I know your dad's dead, but don't take it out on me.
Mrs. She hit me with her science book.
I know, I saw. And you deserved it, Kayla. Jessica? Yes? Do it again. One day, this college student emailed her professor to tell her that she was sick and couldn't come to class. The professor did not believe her at all, so she responded to her student with an email that said, Kate, you know if you're going to lie about why you aren't in class, you could at least be a bit more original than I'm sick. Geez, if I told my boss that back in the old days, she'd have dragged me into work and made me sleep there. The crazy part is, the student was actually sick. In fact, she had just been diagnosed with cancer, and she was feeling sick from all the chemo. I bet she felt real stupid after that. At this one British high school, after gym class every day, people would notice change and stuff missing from their lockers and their pockets. Well, one day, this kid really wanted to find out who was doing this, so he turned his phone camera on record and put it in his pocket. After gym class, when all the other students were noticing they had stuff missing, he checked his camera, and he caught the thief red-handed.
Alrighty, what do you have in here?
Apparently, the girl that had been stealing from everyone was from a very rich family. She was even a successful child actor who starred in a bunch of TV shows. So why was she stealing change from people? Who knows? But like I said, she was caught and she got into serious trouble. One day during class in middle school, this kid saw a thermos in the back of the classroom. Turns out it was the teacher's, but he did not know this at the time. He then goes to the bathroom with the thermos. He then comes back, the teacher sees him and says, "Oh, you found my thermos, thank you so much. You can just put it on my desk." And he does. He then walks out of the room without saying a word. The teacher opens the thermos and is incredibly confused and disgusted. Apparently, this kid took a inside of her thermos. At one middle school, there was a student who would later be known as Cheeseburger Kid, and here is why. One day, right before lunch, he left the school. He walked around the school and found an area of the building that would be easy to climb. Perfect. He then scaled the building and got on the roof. Now, the cafeteria at this school had skylights, windows that looked to the sky. Once he was on the roof, he made his way over to one of the skylights above the cafeteria. He pulled a brick out of his backpack and then he jumped down. The cafeteria was selling cheeseburgers, and his plan was to steal all of them and escape.
Hey, somebody stop that kid!
He even punched a lunch lady. "You stop right now! You stop right now!" Finally, the police show up and grabbed him. He bit the police officer's hand, and then he went to juvie, never to be heard of again. There was this one teacher at this one high school that never let anybody use the bathroom, no matter how many times they asked. There was this one girl in class who hated this teacher, and the teacher hated her. Every day, she would always ask if she could use the bathroom, and the teacher said no. Well, on the last day of school, this girl was in this teacher's class. She asked the teacher twice if she could use the bathroom, and the teacher said no. This is what happened when she asked for the third time. Miss, can I please use the bathroom? I really have to go. I swear to God, if you ask me one more time, no, you may not. Okay, fine, but just remember, you did this. The girl then stood up, stared at the teacher, and peed her pants. She got in big trouble, but she went home and told her parents about this, and her father was a urologist. Her father called the school, and this teacher got into huge trouble. This person needs to go back to school. Alright, the guy that shared the story said he used to work at a radio station, and they were taking calls from people that lived in the surrounding area. Well, a woman called to complain about a street sign. Here's how it went. Alright, next caller, you are on. Hi, yeah, thanks for answering the call. I'm a big fan of your show. Thank you so much. So what did you want to bring up to us today? Yeah, so I was driving along Horsefoot Road, and I noticed that the city put up deer crossing signs. Yeah, okay. Yeah, well, animal cruelty. Are you kidding me? What do you mean by that? Well, think about it, okay? The deer are gonna see that sign and they're gonna think, oh, this must be a safe place to cross the road, and then they cross and get hit by a car. Why would they put signs up like that? Ma'am, no, this is really messed up to have those signs there. Deer can't read signs. I'm pretty sure, no animals can read signs. The signs are there for the drivers to watch out for the deer and to slow down. I think deer just cross the street whenever they want. I mean, I'm not sure where you got this idea, but yeah. The woman then got pissed and started cursing at him on the air. She was then arrested a week later by police for attempting to pull up the deer crossing signs and throw them away. This second grader decides, I want to do something nice for my teacher. So one morning before school, she's outside and she picks a few apple blossoms. Enough to hold in one hand, and she was gonna give it to her teacher. She's gonna love this. She carries them all the way to school. And when it's time, she walks up to her teacher's desk. I got these for you. Now you would think the teacher would be like, oh my goodness, thank you. But where'd you get these? From a tree? Well, that's when the teacher snaps. You pulled these from somebody's tree in their yard. You stole them. No, I didn't. No, I don't want to hear a single word from you. I'm tearing these flowers up. I'm throwing them away. You need to learn about rules, young lady. This is disgraceful. Sit down. Absolutely heartbreaking. This girl just wanted to do something nice and the teacher flipped out. Later that day during recess, her older sibling finds her. She was crying alone. Oh my God, what happened? She explains the situation. Well, he was ticked off. He storms inside and he yells at that teacher. What'd you say to my sister? She was trying to do something nice for you today. You know where she got those flowers? From our backyard. Yeah, the flowers were their family's. She didn't steal them from anybody. The older brother then got a detention for yelling at a teacher, but he doesn't care because the way that teacher treated his little sister was unacceptable. That's a good brother. That's a bad teacher. This is insane. A kid goes to a friend's house for dinner. They're sitting down. It's spaghetti night. Okay, we know the rules, everyone. We must say what we're thankful for. They're all sitting down, the food's in front of them. This kid assumes that they each say one thing and then move on to eat. But the mom then says this, before each and every bite. Wait, before each bite? Yeah, it builds gratitude. So the plates are steaming, nobody's eating yet, and it gets to the dad first. I'm thankful for my family. Then it moves to this kid's friend. I'm thankful for spaghetti. And then it gets to this kid. Go on. I'm thankful for math class. That's good. It keeps going, bite after bite after bite. By round 6, this kid is losing it. I'm thankful for forks and gravity and oxygen. Hey, don't get smart. Dinner takes 2 hours, and this kid decides to leave. And as he's walking out, he whispers to himself, I'm thankful I'm never coming back here again. Yeah, no kidding. The lunch lady from hell. This lunch lady was your classic grumpy old woman. Hairnet, gloves, stained apron, and she seemed to hate children. I hate children. She never smiled. She was always in a horrible mood. Well, one day this kid in the lunch line says something to her that makes her flip out. Next, is this meat even real? The whole lunch line starts laughing at her. And then another kid goes, yeah, is it even real? Also, you're the worst lunch lady ever. Even Mrs. Johnson's rabbits hate you. Now, a little sidebar here. Mrs. Johnson was the art teacher, and she had a cage of like 4 rabbits. They would sit outside her door in the hallway, and the school loved these rabbits. These rabbits were cherished. They were lovely little rabbits. Well, the lunch lady didn't like hearing this. Quit laughing at me. This is funny to you? You're gonna regret this. Oh, you're gonna regret this. So lunch ends, and later that day, this teacher was walking the hallways when she notices the lunch lady standing by the rabbit cage. Scrap-a-dink-a-dee. What is she doing? She's wearing her rubber gloves. She has a strange bag, and she's putting the rabbits in this bag. 1 rabbit, 2 rabbits, 3 rabbits, 4. Now I'm gonna throw you all on the floor. Okay, she didn't make that little rhyme, but still, she was putting these rabbits in a bag and she was gonna do something horrible with them. Well, the teacher said, hey, put those down. Security, the lunch lady's taking the rabbits. Security shows up, takes these rabbits and puts them back in the cage. They then drag her to the office and they send her home forever. After that day, the rabbits stayed inside Mrs. Johnson's classroom for safety. I wonder what she was gonna do to the rabbits. That's insane.
লোকটা কে?
কিন্তু এই 4 লাইন তোমরা বাসায় প্র্যাকটিস করবা, ঠিক আছে?
ও এটা আরে এটা অচেনা শহর, অচেনা মানুষ।
একজনকে তো অন্তত ছিল।
হ্যালো,
তন্নি
মামলা দিব।
মামলা?
হ্যাঁ।
তুই আমাকে মামলার ভয় দেখাস? এই
আমি আসলে একজন কন্ট্রাক্ট কিলার। ছোটবেলায় কারোর জন্য বাবু, কতদিন সব বাচ্চাদের জন্য খেলনা নিয়ে গেলাম। দুষ্ট একটা বাবু আছে।
তাড়াতাড়ি সম্ভব তুমি থানায় কমপ্লেনটা করো। আমার তো অনেক ভয় লাগছে শুনে।
কিছু মনে না করলে আগে নাম্বারটা থাকতে পারি প্লিজ। আমি শুভ। তারপর থেকে টাকার বিনিময়ে মানুষকে মেরে ফেলি। আপনি যখন মারতে চান আমাকে কিছু টাকা দিলে আমি মেরে ফেলবো। হ্যালো,
কি মরা যাবে?
কি বলো? তার মানে হচ্ছে আমরা যদি বিয়ে করে ফেলে তুমি মরে যাবা? আমি তো বিয়ে করবো না।
সারাদিন আমি যেন ভালো হয়ে চলি।
আচ্ছা বাবা, কি হয়েছে বলো তো? সারাক্ষণ কি নিয়ে চিন্তা করো?
শুভ, এই শুভ, এই যে
দলে দলে এত কিছু, হ্যাঁ? তা দুই একটা ইনিংস রেখেছিস নাকি সব শেষ করে দিস?
এখন আমরা যোগ বিয়োগ করব, ঠিক আছে? 7 যোগ 3 কে পারো, হাত তোলো।
টুম্পাও ভালো আছে, তুই কেমন আছিস বাবা?
মা আমি আলহামদুলিল্লাহ ভালো আছি। শোনো না, কেমন চলে?
ভালো চলছে। তুই বাড়ি আসবি কবে?
আমি
মানে আপনি আমাকে ভুল বুঝতেছেন। আমি আপনাকে ডাকছি এটা বলার জন্য যে আপনি আমাকে এরপর ঠিকই বলেছেন, সমস্যা আছে তো ওনার অঙ্গ নেই।
একটু
আপনি আর কোনো কিছু করলে আমি কিন্তু পুলিশের কাছে গিয়ে কমপ্লেইন করব আপনার নামে।
দেখছো অবস্থা? এমন জিজ্ঞেস করলো ভাইয়া তুই বিয়ে করবি না, আমি তো খুশি হয়ে গেছিলাম। ছোট বোনটা তোর বিয়ে দেওয়ার জন্য মনে হয় পাগল।
বাবা, আমার শুধু বাবাই আছে আর আমি। সবাইকে কি বলছি, বাসায় গিয়া এই পড়াটা পড়তে হবে, ঠিক আছে? এখন ছুটি, বাসায় যাও। আপনাকে অনেকবার বলছি এরকম রাস্তাঘাটে আমার সাথে কথা বলবেন না, বিরক্ত করবেন না।
কেন?